Happy to have you aboard here for the Really Big Barbecue Show.
Boing. We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Hit me!
Fine, how you doing?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan.
Boing.
So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle. Charbono! It's all about the charbono, dude!
Succulent fish. What?
He ate 54 wieners.
But listen, Lavernius, shut your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
And just like that, we are into the second hour. Welcome aboard. It's the Barbecue Central Show. We talk about live fire, important items, issues, and 100% non-events as well. If you just missed the first hour, you're tuning in now. Too bad you missed Malcolm Reed. You missed Suzanne Moskowitz. Suzanne, a first-time guest, a copyright and patent lawyer. So we talked about all that. Sounds maybe like it would be boring, but no. She's quite the personality, has a lot of great information, shared it in the right way. So hopefully we've inspired some of you folks that are also maybe in the decision-making process on if that's a leap you want to take. You want to do it. And you want to do it with a professional. Don't go to the stupid third-party websites. What is that, Rocket Lawyer or whoever the hell that one was? I must have started that 7 different times, and finally I was like, Get that free stuff out of here. Now, not in my defense. I also then shelved it for a number of years, and like I said, I don't know why the end of last year was the year I said, I got to do that. But we did it, and soon enough I should have a document that I'll show you every day. I'm not going to hang it up on Cleveland, but I might show it to you. I'll take random pictures of it. I'll take it on tours of the city. Maybe I'll stop over at Suzanne's office and like say, hey, this is where you were born, everybody. Still to come on the show, Sam the Cooking Guy in about 7 minutes from now. You can also follow me socially on Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat /BBQ Central on Facebook and Twitch for live video feeds. Also YouTube, which is /RD Of course, we are streaming live on Clubhouse as well. So if you're listening and you feel like asking a question to a guest, all you have to do is, I guess, raise your hand. And then if I'm watching, I'll get you up there. If I'm not, John will get you up there. Just be patient and don't be offended if I don't see you. Very busy doing a live show, but I apologize in advance. But we are being recorded, so if you get up like Daddy Dutch was in the first hour, you will hear him on Wednesday on the podcast. In the second hour, you will be on Thursday's podcast. And don't forget, you can get an ad-free podcast feed through patreon.com/BBQ Central Show or Apple Podcast directly within the app. Coming up on the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less this Friday, episode 197. Bringing you back to August 13th of 2013, David Marks from Wilbur's Revenge Barbecue Team, owner of, I think it was 5 or maybe 7 different semi-famous Dave barbecue stores, and the chief media officer of Operation Barbecue Relief. That was the first time he appeared on the show back in 2013. So if you aren't familiar with David or what his background is, this is a great segment for you to check out. He's also been on the show a few other times since then to talk about Operation Barbecue Relief stuff as they were being deployed out to various natural disaster areas to feed first responders and those in need of food. And you know Operation Barbecue Relief, right? You go to the website, make monetary donations, or you can donate your time to help out, cook, whatever. But help them out financially, of course. And they're going out to all the natural disasters that occur here through the course of the year and feeding those that need it the most. And it's very noble and it's great what they do. And I have seen the tax returns, by the way, of Operation Barbecue Relief. And I mean this with peace and love.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. They are financially fit in the best ways possible. So they have a good sheet. You can always use more money when you're in this kind of an organization. They're running it right. Very impressive in the right way and the best ways possible. So make sure you subscribe to the podcast feed and make sure you get the Best Moments show every Friday. And you can ask John to make you up one if you want. Send him a guest that you really liked or a segment that you really liked. And he will get it up there for you. And hopefully he meets your expectation. Now, many of you have emailed me over the course of the past week asking about my take on the KCBS steak cooking contests that are supposed to be rolling out here sooner than later. I will reiterate, as I had mentioned last week, we will do this whole recap, feelings, deep dive, review, whatever you want to call it, on the next Embedded Correspondence segment, which will be in 3 weeks. And really, I'm more interested in hearing from you, for those that emailed me asking for my opinion, because I do have an opinion on it. But nobody shared in those emails saying, what do you think? Well, what do you think? Give me your opinion. Give me your take. I'm more interested in hearing from you, especially after you take the time to read through the rules. And it's not like a court docket where it's 78 pages of information you have to sift through and fine print and all this double talk and shenanigans. It's pretty straightforward. So I would be more entertained by hearing from what your take is after you read the rules. And I can tell you this right now. Meathead is really interested in rule number 6. Believe you me, we will hit on that next week when he is in for his traditional first hour. Although next week next week for his segment it will be abridged. I was going to have Robert Moss on at 9:35 tonight, and I forgot, believe it or not, that I had Suzanne already scheduled. I forgot to put it in my calendar. So I moved Robert back a week. Now, he actually said that the move worked better for him in that regard, which is great. So we will have Robert Moss on next week. But we will get a recap of what his acceptance speech from the Barbecue Hall of Fame induction ceremony was vis-a-vis Clint Cantwell, as we know. Number 1. Then we can take a look at the rack of ribs. That is the trophy. You call it a trophy? The bust of ribs that you get for making it into the Barbecue Hall of Fame, which I believe Rod Gray said was a model of a rack of ribs that he had turned in at some point. And then we will really dig into rule number 6, which is why I will now refer to Meathead. Not Meathead anymore. No. From now on, Meathead will be referred to as, quote unquote, number 6 going forward. By the way, a programming note, on October 14th, so a week from Thursday, I will be making yet another appearance on the Jimmy Malone radio show, which is down in the Cleveland/Akron area, or covering the Cleveland/Akron area. It's on 1350 The Gambler on your AM dial if you're local here, or 1350thegambler.iheart.com if you want to hear it anywhere else outside of the Cleveland-Akron area, maybe northern Canton too. I don't know what kind of a blowtorch that signal has, but it's at least getting into the Cleveland and Akron area, so why not? If you want to hear me be interviewed, then just go ahead and do that. All right, let's go to Clubhouse real quick and take a word from Brian. Brian, go ahead.
I just wanted to say great show so far, and learned quite a bit from the keeptm.com.
Do you need to protect yourself, Brian? Yes or no? Be honest.
No, I don't think, not right now. I'm not going to be looking into it anytime soon, but who knows, maybe one day down the road. And I'm sure there's probably some different laws and stuff up here in Canada, but it was some great information. It was great to hear it and listen.
Brian, thank you for weighing in. Absolutely. And if you have a question for Sam the Cooking Guy coming up a little later, I will continue to monitor this clubhouse, which I'm sure he is going to bash me for. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Read real quick. Sam is in the green room, ready to go. I will talk to you about Yoder Smokers. First of all, I hear your emails. Is that right? I read your emails requesting Yoder to come on the show. Rest assured, I am doing my part, reaching out, saying, hey, let's make this happen. They're very busy. I will afford them time cushion until the time avails itself where they can come on the show and do a proper segment. In the meantime, they're building products right here in the States. Pride through craftsmanship, world-class customer service. That's the backbone of the company. We know this. The approach translates into what can be a truly bespoke style product that elevates gatherings with family and friends. They're honored to have a trusted place in the backyards of America. From pellet grills to wood-fired offset pits and charcoal grills, consistent blue ribbon flavor has become synonymous with the Yoder Smoker name. Make no mistake, Yoder Smokers' flavor-driven design is unique to each style of pit, and the team has developed the cookers to perform time and time again while outlasting the competition for generations to come. Not years, generations. It's this generational thought that's rooted in the handmade products and define the integrity of the core values. American-made quality and endless flavor, the benchmarks of Yoder Smokers. Where do you get them? Dealers, yes. Go to the website, yodersmokers.com, and grab yours today. Grab a pellet cooker, grab an offset, and grab a fire pit. Get the trifecta. Tell them the Barbecue Central show sent you. I'm sure they'll save you money on top of that. Here's what I know. Sam, the cooking guy, is in the green room, and he's ready to talk lamb. He's ready to talk TikTok. He's ready to kick me in the balls about Clubhouse. Shenanigans and tomfoolery are afoot. Stand by. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the #1 most downloaded barbecue and grilling podcast anywhere. The Barbecue Central Show. Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show.
This portion being brought to you by Pit Barrel Cooker, the most unbelievable outdoor cooking device on the planet. Currently available in 3 sizes, the Junior, the Flagship, and the PBX. Whether you are a beginner or professional, definitely a cooker you want to add to the arsenal, visit pitbarrelcooker.com and tell them the Barbecue Central Show sent you. By the way, if you're on Clubhouse and you want to ask questions, raise that hand. John will bring you up on stage. I will get to you at some point. In the meantime, my next guest blows it up all over YouTube. With over 3 million subscribers that eagerly watches cooking videos 3 days per week. And that's about all I can say at this point. As we race to the hotline and welcome back Barbecue Central Show guest, Hall of Famer, and friend, Sam the Cooking Guy. Hey, Sam.
What's up, buddy? How are you?
I didn't think that this would be where we would start tonight. But if folks are new to the show and they are also YouTube savvy, they see that the first Tuesday of each month is decorated with 2 of the biggest YouTube personalities in the food space. Malcolm Reed is in the live fire section. Of course, you're in the general cooking section, although I do maintain that you have a live fire cooking show. But nevertheless, technology and the way to connect with people is always evolving, and TikTok is really growing. Malcolm has almost 1 million followers in just a handful of months after 12 years of taking it to get to him to broach the 1 million YouTube subscriber mark. And he's attacking it, so we'll give him that. You also have a TikTok, 216,000 followers or whatever it is. So I'm looking
You're very much up on your numbers.
I try and be as prepared as possible.
Yes. You are always prepared.
I'm looking to get your take on if there is
why I don't have 1 million like Malcolm?
No. But is there
You want to know how much I make?
Is there a real strategy on growing TikTok at this point?
Look, I guess, when does it end? How many, we were watching the news tonight, and, of course they did a thing about the Facebook, Instagram meltdown yesterday. And Kelly said, how do we get out of this? And I go, get out of what? She goes, this whole social media vortex, it's just there. I go, we're not getting out of it. It is not going away. It's like people that want to get rid of assault rifles. If that's the right term, the things that fire a jillion bullets at a time. I go, there's too many out there. The barn door has been left open way too long. You're not getting those back, and social media is not going away. The question becomes, where do you put your efforts? How much do you do? Must you do everything? I contend that if I did not have a public presence, YouTube, restaurants, Instagram, that kind of stuff, I would not be on social media. I mean, I don't want to sound like a dick, but I don't care enough to want to know that so-and-so just took his 800th Peloton ride. I don't care. Good for you. Well done, my man.
Do you see you using it as maybe just a way to keep up with immediate and some extended family, and that's it, where you would have like 30 friends and that's it?
No, because I would get that. I would satisfy that craving through what Kelly does. I mean, we're on Facebook. We upload to Facebook. We put things there. But I don't go look up, Neil Cantor from Sir William Osler Elementary in Vancouver and see how he looks, what his life is like. Is my life better than his, or is his life better than me? Oh my God. Look at what he's got. Look at the cars. Look at that. I don't do that. And I don't know if I would. I really want to believe, Greg, that I would not do it if I did not have some kind of job that almost required it.
So I don't want to get away from what we were talking about.
No, I'm not going to get away. I'm going to circle back just for a second. So now we're on YouTube, and we're on Facebook, and I'm on Instagram, and every so often I go and I look at Twitter. But now there's now TikTok, which is a super short form of what we do. We can cut our stuff down. You and our friend Sean have been espousing the virtue of Clubhouse, which, by the way, I'm not surprised your daughters didn't know about it, because, as I said to you in a text this morning or yesterday, if the kids aren't using it, how fantastic can this thing be? So I don't know. Look, we have not, to be honest, paid a whole lot of attention to it. And I only feel like I should when I hear you go, well, Malcolm's got 1 million people.
Yeah, but that's you being competitive? Or are you thinking you might be missing out?
No, that's me. It's like FOMO, I guess, fear of missing out, perhaps. Must I? Do we need to be there? Is 3 million subscribers and us posting 3 times a week shot beautifully, I might add?
Yes.
Is that not enough? Must I also be putting 15-second clips of the lamb or the grilled cheese and roasted tomato garlic chipotle soup that we made today, which, by the way, will be out probably sometime next week? And I'm telling you, the difference between good tomato soup and outstanding tomato soup is a little chipotle paste, a little. So I'm so torn.
So if I told you, look, it's no surprise to you that you have years and years of perfectly documented content, shot well, you talk well, as a talent. Your son's doing it very well, putting it all together. So you could go back into a 15-minute video and pull out, a minute of good stuff.
Have somebody cut it down.
He does it, upload it. You do it, once a day or 3 times a week or whatever the case. I mean, Sean wants people to do it 3 times a day for 33 days, so you have 99.
Sean's a maniac.
Sean's a maniac. So
I think Sean, if given a choice, Sean would get rid of his restaurant and only interview people on social media.
I don't think Sean's willing to cut his whole nose off, despite his face. I think he knows where the bread's buttered, but I think
one nostril.
He also wants to make sure that people are aware of developing technologies, ways to engage.
No, I understand.
Whatever.
I understand. Yeah.
But since you have that kind of backlog of content, I could sit here and make an argument that it would be real easy to have somebody come in, pay somebody, or get an intern. All they do is cut up Sam videos and away he goes. And all of a sudden now you have 17 million TikTok followers. And then does that open up? I guess the driver here for me is because you have that backlog and because what I'm assuming is a younger crowd featuring TikTok at this point, you have a pretty good avenue of getting in front of a whole lot of other people that probably aren't searching Sam the Cooking Guy out. Now, I will say, because I love to live in contradiction, there have been plenty of college-age kids and high school kids that come into my house with, friends of my daughters. I'm not a weirdo.
Yes.
And I go, hey, I'm totally off the wall random. I say, hey, kid, yeah, you watch YouTube? Yes. Do you know Sam the Cooking Guy? Yeah, I watch him all the time. 15-year-old kid, 18-year-old kid, 21-year-old kid. So I totally understand you're reaching the ages, but this could be an even bigger eyeball.
But listen, here's a question. When is enough enough?
Can enough be enough in your position?
What did you say to me yesterday or the day before? By the way, people should know that we're great friends. I consider you, hand to God, a really good friend. And we've never met.
The same, of course.
But we do talk at least a couple times a week, I think, right? Even if it's just a bitch about something.
I mean, I want to make people jealous, so it's at least 3 times a day. But
okay, 3 times a day
week.
we talk. Exactly. We go to bed each night saying good night to each other. What did you say to me a couple days ago? Have you thought about taking the audio from the YouTube channel and making a podcast out of it? Yeah. So I'll say again, when is enough enough? What must I be doing? Isn't sometimes
why do I feel like I'm Sean all of a sudden?
You are Sean all of a sudden.
But I'm Sean.
You're pushing for.
Here's
the difference.
For
every.
I'm going to tell you what the difference is. Sean actually wants you to get in front of a mountain and push it.
Yeah.
I go, you have this shit. Just have somebody rip the audio off of a Sam the Cooking Guy video and put it up. That's easy.
I get it.
And then somebody listens to you.
But I feel like sometimes there can be too effing much of me. Too much Sam.
Now you have a problem with yourself. I would of course think the same thing. Well, how much can one person stomach of me? They watch me on this video. But I would happen to believe that people are watching this live right now, and at some point during the week, they'll go back and listen to it on the audio podcast. It's the same thing. It's different, but it's the same. So they're consuming me twice, which is exactly what could be happening to you on the audio.
You know that, or you wait. You know that, or you want to believe that?
Well, I mean, okay. There's no way I can prove that somebody is watching this now that will also go back and listen to at least a portion of this. But if I'm doing it, there's one other person out of the 30,000 people that are downloading this on the audio. They have to.
Bro, please. You have to eliminate yourself from that group. You're beta testing, you're checking, you're listening, the audio. I called you the other day and told you about some imperfect audio that I'm surprised you hadn't found yet.
I found it, I think,
before you did.
You did. You did.
Right, but look, I shoot a video, grilled cheese and tomato soup today. We shot it. It will come to me in an edited, beautifully edited, I don't know, for 15 to 17 minutes, sometime next week, right? I will watch it, and that will be the last time I watch it. I will not go back and revisit my stuff. I will not. And especially having shot it, having watched it in the edit version, I'm never, ever going to go back and just listen to the audio of it if it was posted as a podcast. And I can't believe that somebody would watch one of my videos, watch me make lamb or whatever the hell it is, 30-pound burger, and then go listen to it.
Here's what I think.
That's madness.
I hear what you're saying.
Can you take a poll? Wait, you got your little, your cute little, what's it called?
Instant chat?
Clubhouse.
And I have Clubhouse.
Your cute little, can't you take a little poll? Yeah. How many people, I'd be curious to know how many people listening or watching right now watch and then listen to the exact same thing.
All right. If you're in YouTube, hit it up on the instant chat. If you're watching through Facebook, also add your comments because I'll see them here to the left. If you are listening in Clubhouse and you want to come on and say if you would listen, then watch the same thing, raise your hand. John will get you up. I'll put you right on with Sam the Cooking Guy. It'll be an unique experience of your life, of course, because you'll be on with both me and Sam, which few people rarely get to experience. And you can tell us right off the bat. All right.
Barbecue Central Sandwich, we'll call that.
All right. Hold on one second. Here we go. We're inviting on stage. This is going to be Scott. Scott, would you do both, Scott?
Yes, Greg, I've done both. I've listened and watched.
Both for both Sam and me?
Father? Is that your father?
Yes.
My father. What are you talking about? Scott, are you my dad?
No. Definitely
disguising his voice. But so what is it, Scott, that brings you back for round 2 for more?
So I actually have about a 45-minute commute each day, and I like to listen to Greg after the fact and kind of just catch things that I didn't see live.
Interesting.
Now, Scott, if Sam had his cooking show, do you watch Sam's cooking shows, by the way?
I do.
Okay, so if Sam had his cooking show on an audio podcast, and let's say you were listening to him cook his lamb on your way to work Tuesday, would you also be inclined to then just go watch it as well after the fact?
I think if he did something more like what Malcolm does, where he kind of talks about what he did after the fact.
That's not going to work. That's more work for Sam. We can't do that.
Now you're asking me to do more work.
Yeah, we can't do that. But so you wouldn't necessarily be motivated to go watch it after you heard it. If you heard it first, you wouldn't be motivated to go watch it second.
Yeah.
See, that's it. See, in this. So go ahead, Scott.
I said the other way around. If I watched it first, I think it'd be harder to listen to Sam just talk about it.
Yeah, but listening to it first would be okay.
I think listening first would make me want to see what was happening. So that might happen. Yes. But watching and then listening.
But that was my thought. Was somebody would listen to it first and then they would come down and watch it. So you would get like double the. There were also other business things that I was talking about that we're not going to get into.
No, of course.
Scott, thank you for coming up. I appreciate it.
Wait, can we ask Scott a question?
Yes, go ahead.
Hey, Scott, what do you do?
How dare you?
I work as a mechanical engineer.
Oh, a smart guy. Okay. Greg was going to ask you how much you made, but we'll
Scott,
just let
how much money do you make? Go ahead. Tell everybody how much money you make.
I will not reveal that. No
Scott,
questions.
What did I tell you? When anybody asks you that, it's always $967,000. We know the answer to this. Come on,
we have
Scott.
this running joke. I have this running joke with Greg. I believe the first 600 or 700 times I was on with him, he wormed his way into asking me how much I made.
Oh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Around
sure? Or did I ask you?
Close.
Did I ask you how many knives did you sell? And you wouldn't tell me how many knives you sold.
Does that not equate to the same thing?
Oh,
you could do some simple math.
Can we not really get into this again? No, you can't.
Knife is this much money, and then you multiply it by that, and then what's it cost, and then you figure that out.
How does the guy in Australia, who has evidently, according to Derek Riches and not to Meathead, the second most popular barbecue and grilling website, have no problem telling me that his gross revenue last year was $1 million? And I asked you how many knives you sell, and it was like I asked you what was in the bank.
Extrapolation, buddy. Listen,
it's not.
I don't need to go down this road with you.
You brought it up.
You have this need to dig into people's personal financial business. So you just keep it in the background. Yes, exactly. How dare you? You played your own sound effect for yourself.
I played it for you because
if I didn't like you so much, I'd hang up on you.
I don't even.
But I
think
wouldn't
that's
do
the
that
case.
to the Barbecue Central family.
Well, here's what we've been down that road, and that's enough of that. How about that? Can we agree to agree?
If that's how you want to put it.
We'll agree to agree. Peace and love. Peace and love.
There you go.
All right. So we've decided here. Let's recap before we hit the first break, and then I'll come back with you and we'll actually talk about food.
Okay.
We're not doing any extra work. So it's not going to be a podcast reflecting
No,
on
I'm
cooking
not
lamb,
saying
number
we're not
one.
going to. I'm just saying right now,
Yes.
I feel like there's enough.
Yes.
But now I feel obligated to go catch up to freaking Malcolm.
No, of course. Well, I mean, why would you? I was just making a comparison that he's hitting it.
Of course, I know.
And is there an opportunity?
He's working harder than I am. That's what it is.
Absolutely not. You say this. When is enough enough? And then I will say, can there be enough? Is there enough?
Of course there can.
Can there be? In your position, can there be enough? Is 3 million enough? Why not 10 million? Why not 30 million? If you can do something like X that attracts 10 more million, why not?
We're doing nothing different now. Or we did nothing different before we hit 3 million, before we hit 2 million, before we hit 1 million. It's the same stuff. It's just getting to more people, and you tell 2 friends, and so on and so on and so on. That was a shampoo commercial from years ago.
I remember. Product. Absolutely.
What was the product?
Ooh, was it
not
Pert?
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 I don't know. But we're doing the same stuff, and it's growing beautifully. Yes. I might add. We're very happy with the growth. It's nothing crazy. Nobody could ever look at our growth and go, "You guys are buying freaking subscribers," because that happens. And no, we're not. We have very measured, lovely growth. Also backed up by the number of, by the amount of interaction we have. We have great comments and that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I mean, maybe, but Max might. I said to Max, "What do you think about Greg's idea about a podcast?" He goes, "I don't know. Maybe there's something there, but I don't."
Hey, the fact
3
that
episodes
it even
a week
made
keep those boys busy.
The fact that it even made a conversation between the two of you is a win for me. I'm taking it.
Okay,
there you go.
We'll take the win.
I'm taking
the
the win.
Go to a break. We'll come back and we'll actually talk food.
All right, we'll actually do that right now. So we're talking with Sam, the cooking guy, of course. You can find him over at thecookingguy.com. You can also subscribe to him, which I'm sure all of you are, over on the YouTube channel. What do we love about ceramic cookers? Sam can attest to this. He has ceramic cookers as well. We love that they are fuel efficient. We love that you can achieve low and slow temperatures for the traditional barbecue meats. We love that they can get rip-roaring hot for high heat cooking of steaks and other thin cuts, maybe pizza. But what's missing in the everyday lineup of ceramic cookers? The real ability to do true two-zone cooking. Two-zone cooking, very important to both professionals and backyard cooks alike. It's the best way to manage a fire and cook with confidence. However, getting a true two-zone fire in a round ceramic cooker is not very realistic. Why? In a simple word, round. Enter Primo Grill with our game-changing oval design. This shape gives you the ability to execute the two-zone setup that you desire. It also gives you the other ceramic grill benefits as well. Really, when you break it down, there's more than 60 different ways, 60 different ways that you can cook on the Primo cooker. So you're only limited by your culinary imagination. We know they have the new grill head. We know they have the new air dampers on the top and bottom. The rotisserie has been out for months now. And according to Nick Bauer from Primo Grills, that pizza grill accessory is here. It's just not getting off of the ships that are stacked up out at sea on the West Coast. At some point, they'll get here. It's done. Just don't have them yet. In the meantime, go to a dealer near you and check out a Primo if you haven't. PrimoGrill.com is the website. They do have a round Primo option if you want. I would suggest getting the oval. Stand out from the crowd. Don't be like everybody else with a green thing or a red thing. Get the Primo. Get the oval. Get true two-zone cooking technology. Get the best ceramics. Get the patented technology. All that stuff. Multiple sizes. And away you go. PrimoGrill.com is the website. PrimoGrill.com, and we're back with more Sam the Cooking Guy right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the #1 most downloaded barbecue and grilling podcast anywhere. The Barbecue Central Show. Celebrating over 10 years of prolific and unparalleled live fire barbecue and grilling talk. And yes, it's still being done from Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show.
Hey, welcome back. This portion being brought to you by Smithfield.com. You can get tips and tricks from championship pitmasters like Chris Lilly, Darren Worth, Ernest Cervantes, Giles Cridlin. Mouth-watering recipes, flavors, and no artificial ingredients. Smithfield Fresh Pork, quite simply some of the finest pork money can buy. A trusted choice of world championship pitmasters, freeze at competitions, and at home. Also hacks like me. I use Smithfield all the time. If you are a committed cook, go to smokingwithsmithfield.com and report your first place finishes on shoulder and ribs. All right, we are back with Sam the Cooking Guy, and now we'll be talking about cooking with the Cooking Guy, unless you have something else you wanted to button up.
Can I detour 1 second? Please, detour 1 second.
All right.
While you were talking about the
1 second.
Please. Exactly.
We have to do a segment on that someday. Can we do a segment on that?
100%.
Oh my God.
I'll give you the behind the scenes.
It's going to be great.
Everything.
Okay.
I'll give you everything that Malcolm does on his whatever he does after the fact thing that Scott in Canada or wherever he was from loves. I just went to Primo Grills while you were talking about it.
All right.
The last time I heard you talking about it, I was in my car. I couldn't do that. And I went now. I think they need to make a change to their website.
Go ahead.
Because I believe this oval shape is genius.
All right.
I really do. But it is not obvious from their homepage. It is not obvious that that's one of the things that makes them stand out. So if I was you, or if I was Mr. Primo,
Nick,
as I imagine there is, I would play that part up because that really sets them apart.
All right, duly noted. I'm taking notes. I will.
And I'm not seeing that because look there's how many round ceramic cookers are there?
All of them.
6,000?
Yeah.
Yeah. What makes Primo different? The shape, and that is not self-evident from their website, and it's certainly not from a picture like that. Can you tell that that's oval shaped?
Not necessarily.
No, not at all.
You know, this is what happens. I fall into me being a guy that just knows stuff, and then inherently, I guess I would then also assume that if somebody's looking up a Primo, they would know that that's the difference. But that's not a good way for me to think. Let me tell you
something. No, I operate under this. When I'm doing something on the show, the YouTube channel, I find I repeat myself about certain things fairly often, but I do that because I know there's always new people or there's old people that haven't heard that. And I believe I teach as much as entertain. Mm-hmm. And you might watch me and go, the guy's a fucking idiot and he doesn't really know and he's not trained and none of that shit. But I really do believe that I teach and I want people to know these things. So I find myself repeating. You can never assume that what you know other people know. I think the Primo people assume that when you get to their site, you're going to know their stuff is oval. I think they need to work on that. Anyway.
I will send that note to Nick Bauer. He is a very diligent businessman, and I'm sure he will take it under advisement. You will probably see a complete site refresh in the next 48 hours. Now, let's talk about food. So one of my favorite things, and usually this is me showing my ass to Stephen Reichlin, who has now become well-versed in me going, I don't know about this or I don't know about that.
You show your ass to Stephen Reichlin? Isn't that a little personal, though?
Yeah, well, you know what I mean. So he's been on the show forever, so he doesn't care. Yeah. And I think at first he was like, wow, this guy is a complete idiot when it comes to palate and food experience. And then he was probably like, wow, how refreshing that after this many years he continues to tell me what an idiot he is. And maybe he just didn't have a great food experience after he got out of his house or whatever the case may be. Well, one of these things is this. Lamb. I didn't know jack about lamb other than this. At very few points in my life, my mom made my dad a leg of lamb. There was this weird green thing in a canister that sat off to the side of the plate. I had no interest in trying it. And this was maybe...
Are you referring to mint? Are you referring to mint jelly?
Yeah, mint jelly. Oh, right. God, which just on its head sounds vile. Like almost as bad as liquid smoke. Mint.
It's like a sexual lubricant.
Ugh, it's gross. So
It's horrid.
It was never on my radar. And then I'm down at Pit Barrel Cookers headquarters down there at Noah and Amber's house in Louisville when they lived out there before they moved out to Northern California a couple years ago. And we were there for a volleyball tournament. He's like, stay with us. And he had kids, still has kids, but they were younger. Probably 10 was the oldest. The other one was maybe 8 or whatever. And we were going to have dinner after the match. And I said, what are we having? I flew in some steaks from Snake River Farms that we were going to be doing. So to hold up my end. And he's like, the kids wanted, they did something good. And as a reward, said, what do you want for dinner? And the kids said, rack of lamb. I'm like,
the little kids.
What kind of kids are you raising, Noah? Rack of
Little
lamb.
kids.
And he's like, oh, yeah, they love it. I said, I've never had it.
That's fantastic.
Well, you've come to the right place. There's no better lamb than lamb cooked on a pit barrel, and it's going to change your life. So to save you the whole story, he cooks it, takes a chop off, says, stick this in your mouth. It's going to change your life. And at that very moment, I was like, how in the fuck have I not had a lamb chop like this before? I've missed out on all these years, and now I've been like actively trying to make up for lost time. It is.
So
Isn't
good. It upsetting when you try something that you thought sucked or that has been cooked horribly for you, whatever the reason is, and you're like, oh my God, what an eye-opening experience. I love lamb. I love it because it's different, because it clearly is not chicken. Clearly it is not pork. It is not beef.
Right.
It is, I hate to use the term, it is a little gamey, but in the best sense ever. And I think a lot of people hear gamey and they think
gamey is a polite word for bad.
Bad.
For me, it's
meat
like somebody goes, it's a little gamey, which means it's not that great.
It's not that great. No, it is so great. And one of my favorite parts of lamb is the fat on the edge.
Yes.
I mean, I love fat on the edge of a ribeye, whatever. But the lamb is just so great. So we made it recently. That you're bringing this up. We did not use mint jelly. I mentioned it. My father was a mint jelly fan. It's a horrible looking. I don't understand it, but he loved it. It seems fake to me, but he loved it. He's dead now. So what does that tell you? Look what mint jelly did to my father. Killed him.
Wow.
Killed my father.
Shame on mint jelly.
He was 87, but still killed him. Maybe it wasn't the mint jelly. Look, I don't want the Mint Jelly Association to come after me for dogging their product. But we made a mint and parsley chimichurri, garlic and olive oil and pepper flakes and tons of mint and tons of parsley. And it was a dream. And we used that Santa Maria style grill and blasted the shit out of the stuff. And oh my God. You're right. We are a live fire show a lot of the time. And I when you first said that to me, I was like, this guy he's just smoking something. I don't know what it is. It's the stupid cat at 4 a.m. when he's on the treadmill.
Oh, shit.
It's just ruining his mind. But you were right. We do. We do a lot of live fire stuff. We're the only cooking show, I think, that cooks outside 100%.
100% of the time. Like every once in a while, you might run something into the oven, but by and large, it is outside.
I go like this. People go, shouldn't you cook inside? I go, no. It looks better out there. The lighting's better. It feels better. I've got all my toys around me. I don't have to do that. And do you need to see me put something in the oven? When I hold up a platter and I go, okay, this is going to go in the oven for a half an hour at 450. Must I show you that?
Right.
No. But the lamb, I would just say this. I want to do a public service announcement, Greg, right now. I want you to help me with this.
Yes.
For those of you that don't think you enjoy lamb, just get some. And don't go crazy and get like a whole leg and bones and shit like that. No. Get a rack or get chops or rib chops or whatever it is. And don't F them up. Don't cook them too much. What would you say? I know. What did you tell me? You were like 130 and then you something?
Yeah, I go to 125 internal and then I'll take them off. Then they're going to get some rest time because I'm collecting all the other stuff. So they might bump up towards 130. I will say that you can go over on lamb, and then it is not as pleasant of an experience. If you like the flavor of that, then you'll be okay. But I find that medium rare lamb to be unbelievable. It's not beef. And as you said, it's not pork. It is its own delicious,
it stands on its own.
Tender, flavorful, fatty, meaty, just incredible.
Amazing. Yeah. We make lamb burgers all the time. Ground lamb.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, so great.
Do you do lamb burgers at Samburgers?
No, we don't. We have our blend. We have chicken that we grind. We have salmon that we grind. And we have Beyond. But Kelly loves a lamb burger with a little bit of really finely diced red onion in it, a little bit of oregano. Cook it perfectly so it's still, medium-ish, medium rare-ish. And then she likes a nice, thin, wide piece of feta on top of that and Dijon mustard on the side for dipping. There's no bun. It's just the burger patty by itself, and it is so delicious. But I say this all the time, and I think people think it's a throwaway line. At the end of our episodes, I say, don't eat the same thing all the time. Work to try and find something new to cook at least once every couple of weeks, maybe once a week. By the end of the year, you've got a bunch of new stuff in your pocket that you know how to do. But if you're not a lamb person, you really need to get it into your rotation. You really do. It is that good.
Not to pimp out.
By the way, not sponsored by the Lamb Council or anything.
Neither am I, and not to pimp out the pit barrel cooker. But if you get your lamb, so I was getting it at Costco before I let the membership laugh because our meat department went to shit. So I can get it at BJ's Wholesale Club, which is much closer than the Costco was. And it's probably sourced from the same place in New Zealand or, wherever the hell it is. I think you muted yourself. When you get it home, no. There you go.
There we go. Yep. Sorry.
So get it home, get it out of the pack. So that's where I think the hurdle is going to be. You get it out of the pack. It's got that little plastic cover on it that covers the bones. As long as you realize that the lamb scent that you're getting from the cryovac is just get over that. Just push it out of your brain.
It's not bad.
There's nothing. That's look, what lamb smells like. Learn to love that because it's not that and then it gets 10 times funkier than that. That just goes away.
But I would argue, Greg, that anything that you take out of a cryovac, plastic thing, anything, chicken, sometimes I'll get chicken, I'll take it out of the bag and I'm like, holy shit, this is bad chicken.
Yeah.
And 2 minutes later, it's fine. It has no smell. But you really just, do this. Get some lamb. I don't care really what it is. Some kind of chop, little bone situation thing. A little oil, some salt and pepper. Throw it on something screaming hot. Turn it a bunch of times. Yeah. Yank it when it's about 130. If you've got some mustard or rosemary, whatever, just start eating it. You will fall in love.
Smokin' Joe's Barbecue Pit says lamb smells and tastes like gas. Joe, you have to be doing lamb the wrong way, Joe, if you think it smells and tastes like gas. I will admit.
He's shoving it up his ass and then he's cooking it.
Well, we can't confirm or deny that, but there are clues that we're following. The first time I did it after I got home from Louisville, I was a little taken aback getting it out of the cryovac. But as you said, everything smells when it's coming out of the cryovac.
I think it does.
Had it seasoned up, got the grill done, cooked it on the pit barrel. I mean, really, that is the best way to get into lamb on the pit barrel. It is unbelievable the way it worked, the fat rendering out, hitting the charcoal. Of course, depending on what kind of charcoal you're using, it adds even a different layer of flavor. But wow, medium rare lamb off the pit barrel is unbelievable.
It's kind of unbelievable. Look, I think there's a lot of things that people just don't understand. I'm a very big fan of salmon. We have it probably once a week, sometimes more if we have company in the house. And I run into people all the time that clearly admit to hating salmon. It's like, I don't know that it's the salmon that you don't like. I think maybe it's the way you've been cooking it, or it's been cooked for you. And we're Jewish. Salmon is almost our people's safe food. We can eat it. A rabbi can come over. A priest can come over. A vegetarian can come over. A monk can come. Everybody can eat salmon. That being said, I grew up not in my home, but going to other Jewish homes, having salmon just absolutely ruined. Cooked you can go to a sushi restaurant and eat raw salmon. It's the best thing ever. And then you go to your Aunt Ruth's house and she you're like, she didn't cook it enough. Go, wait a minute. You ate it raw last night. Now it's not cooked enough. Undercook it. Keep it medium rare. But people need to have stuff cooked for them sometimes that to show them that they can enjoy these things. And I think there's lamb people out there that think it's stinky, it's weird, it doesn't taste like anything else. And by the way, that's the reason to have it. Because it's not like rabbit or something that tastes. Right. Everything they say tastes like chicken. No, be thankful it doesn't taste like chicken. Be thankful it doesn't taste like beef. It's its own very distinctive thing that is so delicious.
Sam, what should I be making for dinner tomorrow night as we close the show?
I would do the what I'm about to make for Kelly right now is the tomato soup, roasted tomato. I'll send you the recipe. Yes. Roasted tomato, roasted garlic, tomato soup, little bit of thyme with the little tomato paste and chipotle paste and a great grilled cheese. And the grilled cheese that we made for this today, I mixed mayo and garlic, and that went on the outside of the grilled cheese instead of butter.
Yes.
And then 3 cheeses inside, along with the bacon onion jam that we put in our burgers at Sandburgers. Bacon onion jam, 3 different cheeses mixed together, and the mayo garlic on the outside. Honestly, that with this soup was maybe one of the best bites of food I've had in a long time. I think I said that.
You should be watching Sam's videos on YouTube, of course. Go to youtube.com, search The Cooking Guy, subscribe if you're not there. Go to his website, thecookingguy.com, and then is it shop.stcg.com for all the knives, apparel, and all this stuff?
Seriously, if I wasn't married, I'd be moving to Cleveland and shacking up with you.
We'd be living a whole different life, pal. And I'm okay with that.
Buddy?
I'm okay with that.
Wouldn't we? Right? Nothing wrong with that.
If there's anybody, it would be you, no doubt about it. Also, on the first Tuesday of every month, in the second hour, you can see him right here on the show at Sam the Cooking Guy. Sam, always appreciate the time.
Thanks, buddy.
You got it. There he is. Sam the Cooking Guy. And I got time to do this, and then we'll get on out. Vortic Watch. That's right. A small batch custom watch manufacturing and vintage restoration company located in northern Colorado. They take antique American pocket watches and turn them into wristwatches, like this. Their mission, preserve and enhance the legacy of manufacturing excellence in America. In order to do that, they combine traditional and cutting-edge technology to create unique quality functional timepieces with exceptional value. And the coolest part, as we know, each watch that they make is unique and one of a kind. Vortic founded on the motto that America wasn't assembled, it was built. Check out vorticwatches.com for more information. By the way, a lot of you asked me about when they're going to be coming back out with the railroad size watch or the railroad style watch. And I was told by Bella Risley over at Vortic that they should have everything prototyped and ready to go at the end of quarter 4 here, as we're beginning quarter 4 now. So I would assume they'll be able to start fulfilling requests at some point Q1, Q2 of 2022. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe we can have RT Custer on and get a follow-up with him here as the year closes out. So we thank the friends over at Vortic Watch. We'll close the show right after this. Stick around.
Whole packers, full racks, legs and thighs, injecting butts. If you've never heard this before, you might think you found the best XXX show ever. Let's get back to the most homoerotic host out there today, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back, and we thank Sam the Cooking Guy for joining me. Of course, you can follow him over at thecookingguy.com on social media and subscribe to him on YouTube. All the way back in the first hour was Malcolm Reed joining us for his monthly appearance, How to Barbecue Right, or howtobbqright.com, his website. And subscribe to him on YouTube as well if you haven't done so already. Then it was first timer of the show, Suzanne Moskowitz from the Moskowitz firm right here in Cleveland, Ohio, or Greater Cleveland. I think it's Shaker. Keep, K-E-E-P, Keep TM, like trademark, keeptm.com, her website. She's ready to help you out, get you protected on copyrights and trademarks, things like this. She's helping me do the Barbecue Central show and associated other items with the show. And it's federal, so she can help you no matter where you are in the country. Give her a call, hit her up on email or through the website, let her know I sent you or that you heard her on the show, and you can take it from there. Then in the second hour was Sam the Cooking Guy. We talked about TikTok. We talked about is enough when it comes to social media. Somehow we got dragged back down to him incorrectly saying that I asked him about how much money he makes, which I don't ever do that. And then we talked about our favorite meat, evidently, together, which is lamb. And I think we might have said that if we were both single, we also might start a same-sex relationship, which is absolutely fabulous with me, too, by the way. Thank you, Sam. Big show planned for you next week. Meathead is in, abridged. We will have Robert Moss as well. And then 2 weeks of business. Will Ford from Launch Boom is going to be on next week. If you have a product, if you have something that you've always thought about crowdfunding, you want to know how to do it, or you want to be successful at it, next week is going to blow your mind. It's going to be unbelievable. So, how do I always leave you? September 11th, 2001. I will never forget. Until next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, this is your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Rempe. Good night now.
What's up? This is JM, host of the Celebrity Grill podcast on iTunes, and you're listening to the Barbecue Central Radio Network. All barbecue and grilling, all the time.